Hello, my pretties. This is Shadow the Lion Queen here, and welcome back to another episode of Shadows and Pretties. And today we are going to be doing another video. And today in this video, we are going to be doing is two movies. We're going to be reviewing Rise of the Gargoyles and Malibu Shark Attack. So basically, these two movies were released both in 2009 from the Maneater series film series. So, with that being said, I'm going to talk about what Rise of the Gargoyles are before we go to the Malibu Shark Attack. So, basically, um, Rise of the Gargoyles is basically about taking place in Paris and France. Two workers find a hidden chamber while digging beneath the Saint Jean Andre Church. They collect the valuable objects in the area, but get attacked by a creature. So meanwhile, a discredited Professor Jack Randall, who wrote a book about gargoyles, rejected by the experts, is encouraged by his friend Carol Beckham to check the place out. So eventually they sneak into the site during the night, and while Carol is collecting some artifacts, Jack is recording with his camera. Out of the blue, Jack sees a winged monster come towards him, and he flees from the location with Carol, but breaks his camera. So they go to a bar, and a huge stone falls over onto his car. Jack takes the cab to his boarding house, and Carol gets attacked and beheaded by a gargoyle at her apartment. So the next morning, Jack identifies Carol's body and becomes the prime suspect of Inspector Gilbert in several murders. Jack decides to sneak out of the reporter of a sensational list newspaper, Nicole Richard, who gives his tape to the cameraman Walsh, and then Walsh recovers the badly shaped footage. He shows Nicole, and they realize that Jack is not crazy. He indeed seen a gargoyle behind the church. So they return to the church to pretty much investigate the area that the gargoyles are, and pretty much have to get rid of the gargoyles that are, that are sitting there and, killing people. That's mainly what it is. I mean, it's a really interesting movie. I personally didn't need to see it twice because of how good it is. I mean, the animation for it was just flat out amazing. It definitely helps out a lot. Like, it really helps out with the storyline of this, and it's a really great film. I personally really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I mean, it's got a good concept and got everything amazing of this. And while this one is pretty gory, like most of a good majority of these Maneater series films are pretty gory, in my opinion. And they are gory if you've not seen them. So, yeah, I'm definitely do have to say that they're definitely really something when it came to this movie. Now, I really do have to say that this film is a pretty good one, and I definitely can recommend this one to anyone who likes gargoyles and stuff like that. So, yeah, with that being the case and with that being said, basically that's what Rise of the Gargoyles is about. Now, on to Malibu Shark Attack. Basically, this is about goblin sharks attacking a beach. So basically, Heather is a lifeguard on a Malibu beach alongside her ex-boyfriend Chavez, the head lifeguard, and fellow lifeguards Doug and Barb. Are also on the beach are Jenny, a young 20-something-year-old girl who's reluctantly cleaning the beach for community service after she got caught shoplifting, and Brian, who is Barb's boyfriend, who proposes to her. Meanwhile, a tremor unleashes a group of living fossil goblin sharks who begin to devour swimmers along the beach. Chavez then eventually travels to a nearby building that is undergoing construction, and after there are complaints about the public parking area closure, and meets with Colin, who is Heather's new boyfriend, and the building's owner and workers, George, Yancey, and Carl. A warning of a tsunami arises, and Chavez returns to the beach, saving Heather, who had been knocked into the water by a shark after being sent to investigate. Some people eventually causing trouble in the water. Doug and Barb evacuate the beach and take shelter in the lifeguard hut with Heather, Chavez, Jenny, and Brian. So, as the tsunami hits, Brian gets knocked unconscious and Jenny suffers a large cut on her leg. Brian quickly recovers and Heather manages to stitch Jenny's cut together. However, the blood attracts the goblin sharks and the group realizes that they're stranded in the hut, with help unlikely soon due to damage the tsunami created. So the sharks soon begin to attack the hut and manages to break the floor, dragging Barb out and devouring her. So the group mourn Barb's death, and the construction crew have become stranded in a building where they were working on. And Yancy decides to try and swim to land to get help, but she gets quickly attacked and eaten by the sharks in the process. Then a shark jumps up and drags Carl into the water. Soon after, Colin and George discover a boat and begin to travel to the hut. Back at the lifeguard shack, the group manage to kill one of the sharks, and Chavez swims out of the hut to retrieve a flare gun and any other supplies he can salvage. So the group tries to distract the sharks, but one attempts to eat Chavez after he climbs to the shack's roof, resulting in him shooting and killing the shark with the flare gun instead of summoning for help. So the group move up to the roof as the sharks continue to damage the hut. Colin and George arrive on the boat and everyone else boards, but soon fuel runs out, forcing them to drift to land. After a few hours, the boat reaches Colin's work site and the boat becomes stuck on a gate. So George enters the site to try to find pliers to open the gate. But as the rest wait, the sharks arrive and Brian jumps into the water, sacrificing himself so the rest can escape. Doug, Jenny, and Colin manage to get to the flooded building and encounter the shark, but they manage to kill it. So while Heather and Chavez discovered a half-eaten George before taking shelter in the car where they reconcile, Chavez kills another shark before entering the building with Heather. So the group meet up and manage to trap and kill the final shark after reaching dry second floor of the building. Jenny says she likes to be a lifeguard, and Doug says that they can start her training in her 20 remaining community service hours. So the two smile at each other and makes it clear, although Heather mentions sharing and flipping a coin, Chavez will win her back. The last scene eventually shows a helicopter arriving to rescue the survivors, and that's pretty much the movie. In my personal opinion, I thought this was a pretty good movie. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't really care for this movie. I mean, this movie is quite interesting because it involves sharks killing people. It kind of reminds me of Jaws. Like, every time I see a shark movie, I get vibes of Jaws. Like, I get Jaws vibes every time I, watch a shark movie. And this is obviously just a really great film. I mean, it's got good deaths in it, and it's just a really good movie. It's just like Jaws, but except it's different. And I personally really do appreciate the CGI animation for the sharks. I thought that was really cool. And, I mean, to be fair, it's a really great film. I personally really enjoyed it. I thought it was really neat and well done. Like, I like the concept of it. I personally really like this movie. I found a lot of great enjoyability when it came to this. So that's definitely something I can say that is really good, is that this film is just a really great film. Now, I do recommend this movie to anybody who is into sharks. Same with the Gargoyles ones. If you're into mystic creatures, you might like Rise of the Gargoyles. If you like sharks, then you'd be interested in this movie. Now, anyways, with that being said, and that being the case, like I'm always going to say, this is just simply my own personal opinion on these movies, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these movies. This is only my own personal thoughts. Now, anyways, what did you guys personally think of these two movies? Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below, because I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. So, as always, I am Shadow the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you're new to my channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. As always, if you guys want to go follow me on Blue Sky, link to my Blue Sky will be in the About page section, along with my Twitter, along with my DeviantArt and my backup channel known as Ms. Dark Shigo, as links to all those will be in the About page section, so you guys can go follow me on there if you want. Also, with that being said, I hope you guys all have a good day, night, or evening, wherever your time zone is, and we will see you all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, I will see you all next time.